Let's talk about the rappers for a minute. Can we talk about the rappers for a moment? Let's talk about Tupac Shakur for a moment. Tupac Shakur is a child of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, born out of the spirit of the revolution of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, fire in his bones, boldness and rebellion in his blood. Born from his beautiful, bold Black Panther mama, Afeni, sitting in the jail cell, a revolutionary woman carrying the fruit of life, marking the child in her womb, marking the child with rebellion, marking the child with insurrection, marking the child with a spirit to not go along with what's been going on.
Beat me, young G, with a gift to get.
Thug life, y'all know the rules, gotta do what you gotta do. Stay true.
Thug life shit is hot. We had it hot on the street. Easy wouldn't put it out, so eventually Disco put it out. But we went to Easy first.
And Tupac was with Eazy-E, and he went to do his own thing.
My name is Eazy-E, yeah, this is true. So, you know, and I just talk about a lot of these stories that, you know, I was witness to. You know, for instance, like, you know, I recall, like, one time, you know, me and Tupac, we did a song with Above the Law.
So you can call it what you want, about the blood.
Well, I am the danger, similar to a killer.
Right, and Above the Law was signed to Ruthless. And at the time, Ruthless and Death Row were beefing, right? And I just remember being in the elevator with Eazy-E and Tupac and Above the Law when we get ready to go to the stage, and the elevator doors open, and I think Warren G and some other people was there, and Eazy pulls out a gun, and Pop crazy ass, he pulled out his gun.
Whoa.
and it was like, we ready to do this, and I was just like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like what's going on? And just little shit like that, and I've actually witnessed.
Only Gab can do it like this.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is Machiavelli Media. So the other day I'm on YouTube, right? And I see my homie Money B do an interview with Virtual Hip Hop News. And in this interview, he was sharing some stories about, you know, what he witnessed firsthand running around with Tupac Shakur and just being part of hip hop, period. And in this interview, he said he was on the elevator with Tupac, Eazy-E, and they pulled straps out. Now, the guys doing the interview, they do a great job, but they didn't stay on that. Me personally, he would have had to go into detail about why Eazy-E and Tupac pulled out their straps. So initially when I hear that, I'm thinking Tupac and Eazy had beef. So I grabbed my phone, I called my dog, my personal homeboy, Money B, and I'm like, Money B, Tupac and Eazy-E pulled straps on each other? He was like, no, Gab, no. They didn't pull straps on each other. They pulled straps on Death Row Records. And I'm like, whoa, yikes. Tupac and Eazy-E pulled straps on Death Row Records. Now, Money didn't go into detail on who they pulled the straps on. He didn't say they pulled it on Suge. He didn't say they pulled them on Snoop. He just told me they pulled straps on Death Row Records. I guess Money, you know, trying to keep the peace, don't want to bring up old wounds. Maybe I'll get him on the show. Maybe I'll get him to talk about it to you. But it is okay for me to talk about this part. Now, Tupac and Eazy-E had history with each other. You heard Busy Bones say that Tupac actually started out with Eazy-E. You heard Mo Preem say that Tupac was going to bring thug life through Ruthless Records. For some reason or another, it didn't happen. But yes, Tupac was running with Eazy-E at one point in time. I don't know how heavy, but it was to the point that Eazy-E once again was going to put out Tupac and Thug Life. Through Ruthless Records, for some reason it didn't go down. Tupac would later take shots at Bone Thugs and Harmony for having Thug in the group's title. But who knows why it didn't happen. I want to know what happened after Tupac and Eazy-E pulled straps on Death Row Records. You know, we know eventually if there was any bad blood between Tupac and Suge, you know, it was smoothed out, and Tupac would later go on to sign with Suge Knight and Death Row Records. So apparently they got over that. It wasn't nothing heavy, wasn't nothing serious, but it happened. I'm like, yo, but could you imagine if Eazy-E had put out Thug Life? I mean, Eazy-E was such an iconic figure, you know what I mean, in hip-hop. In the 90s, man, it was just, he was bigger than life. NWA, Eazy-E, and you already know Tupac would go on to become, you know, the biggest rap icon and symbol in all of hip-hop. But could you imagine, you know, Thug Life coming through Ruthless Records? Could y'all picture that? How you think that would have went? You know what I mean? How you think that would have went? And, you know, if you think about it, it made a lot of sense at the time because members of Thug Life was already wearing blue. All right? You had Macadocious, you had Rated R. Those guys was wearing blue. And we know that Eazy-E wore blue. Hint, hint. So at the time, it would have made a lot of sense, you know, for that Thug Life crew to come on through Ruthless Records. And that beef was already popping between, you know, Dre and Eazy. And it would later become Dre and Suge against Eazy. Ruthless Records against Death Row Records. Pac was already in that beef from the beginning. And if he had really signed the Ruthless Records, you know, he would have been a key factor in that beef. And eventually, you wouldn't have gotten All Eyes on Me, and you wouldn't have gotten Tupac signed to Death Row if he had signed the Ruthless Records initially. It's just wild, man. But anyway, I just thought that was very, very interesting, man. I just thought that that was a piece of hip-hop or time in hip-hop that definitely don't get talked about. And, you know, I like to dig a little deeper into that. You know, maybe I'll do a series on it, and maybe I'll get the whole breakdown for you, you know, and give it to you guys, and you guys can tell me what you think. Anyway, it's been a pleasure as always. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is Machiavelli Media. I'm your homie Gab. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.